Now I can see a picture. Wow, look at that. Now we're talking.
$250 shirt.
Holy shit, it is a $250 shirt. Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, man, how ridiculous it would be to pay $250 for even the best old death metal shirt. That's just insane.
I saw that somebody bought an old Dismember shirt too for a ridiculous amount of money on the eBay.
Oh my god.
$1,000 or something.
$1,000! Jesus
two,
Christ.
I think.
2. Wow. Man, let's start off with the early years when you guys in Grave were called Corpse. I think that band started around the mid-'80s, right? And it was more of a thrash band at first.
Well, if we take a little step backwards again, before Corpse, because we started playing together when we started the 7th grade. Wow. We were like 13, maybe. Mm-hmm. Me, Ola, and Jensa, and Jörgen, who was in Corpse as well, bass player. We started way back, but we had different different band names, and we kind of first started out doing AC/DC covers, and then gradually, because we didn't really know how to play from start.
Yeah.
Now, the only one who could play an instrument when we started was our drummer.
Wow. Okay.
he has a dad and an uncle who played drums, and they were good drummers, jazz drummers, and he learned from early age. So he could play. Ola could play a little bit of guitar, and so he picked up the guitar. I did only vocals from the beginning. Right. And Jörgen was doing bass, and we had another guitar player. Eventually, we had kicked the other guitar player out, and we needed a second guitar player, and so I started playing guitar and learned,
Wow.
And that's how it went. And then eventually, we had another guitar player, and we had a thrash band called Anguish. We never really recorded only like a 4-track home thing too as well. That never ever will be released. But there was a recording.
But that will never see the light of day.
No, that was before Corpse too.
Yeah.
But then we kind of part ways with that guitar player because we had a different musical.
Right.
I would say interest. Yeah. So he was more into Gary Moore and traditional metal and blues and stuff like that. Yeah. Whilst we were discovering all these thrash metal bands,
Yeah.
Creator and
yeah, Sodom, I was going to say the Corpse logo.
Celtic Frost.
Yeah, the Corpse logo, the one on the cassette demo. The first time I saw it, I was like, these guys like Creator.
yeah, exactly. We kind of ripped it off. I have the demo here for you to
see. Amazing.
The Corpse Creator logo.
Oh, there it is. There it is. That's so fucking cool. Like, seriously. That's amazing.
This is actually not the original one, because I lost my tapes a long time ago.
Wow.
This is from released at I think they're from Finland.
Wow, they did a recreation.
Released a cassette box.
Wow. I gotta track that down.
The demos.
God damn, I gotta track that down. That's amazing. That's amazing. Because like the big compilation that you guys did, was it somewhere in the vicinity of like 10 years ago? Of like everything from Corpse to
the Necropsy, it was called.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing. It's the same, but this is just a box set.
Right. So they got the ability to do the cassettes. That's cool. That's really awesome.
I think so. I didn't know. I found out on the internet, and I saw someone had the box. So I was like, "Oh, what's that?" I had no idea it was released, but I sent them a message, and they sent me one. So
that's amazing. I mean, if they went to the trouble of doing it, I'm sure they'd be stoked to send you one. Just
yeah.
God, Jorgen.
still underground. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we had a lot of Corpse creator influences for sure.
Yeah. And like at that time, what was as Corpse was doing that? What years was that? Was that like 86, 88? 87, 88 time, or is it like later?
No, it's earlier than that.
Wow.
I think I have to open it up now, but it says it's from 86.
Okay.
I think it might be recorded late 86, maybe. If I can remember it right, somewhere around the late 86.
And it seems.
But when we recorded, we just sent it out to a few record companies. We had no idea that other bands were really. See, we grew up on an island.
Oh, really?
Outside. It's like a 3.5 hour ferry ride from Stockholm.
Wow. Okay.
So there was no scene there at all. Nobody else on that island played or even liked thrash metal, except for the 4 of us and maybe 10 more friends.
Wow.
So, but we had no idea that people were, releasing demo cassettes and really sell them to or send them out. We had no idea. So we didn't know. So we just afterwards, when we realized that Nihilist and Morbid and Merciless and bands like that were selling cassettes at the Heavy Sound record store in Stockholm. I'm sure you heard of it. Orvar talked about it too.
Yeah.
Then we thought, maybe we could, ship them 5 of them and see if we can sell 5 copies of it.
Yeah. And how did that go?
Yeah, Uffe Cederlund picked up one. I know that for sure. He picked up one and he was like, "Oh, what's this from Gotland?" And he contacted me, and we were friends since then.
That's amazing.
That was probably around 88, 87.
That's amazing. And so, like through that time, you guys are like super young. Did you guys get to like catch the ferry over and go play some shows with these other bands that you were finding out about, like Nihilist and Merciless?
I'm sorry, I have to fill in here because it says in the cassette. It's all handwritten, of course, and old school.
Right.
And it says, "Corpse is now grave, so buy the grave demo too."
So wait. You guys released the demo tape, but as you're like making the cover for it, you're like, we should call our band Grave from now on too, and so wrote that in there.
No, I think actually we had this recording, but when we recorded the first Grave demo,
right,
we never really put this Corpse demo out.
Oh,
because we didn't know people would sell those. So when we said we recorded the Grave demo in '88, and we discovered that people traded demos and stuff.
Yeah.
And we said maybe we should just release the old Corpse demo as well, just for fun. People might be interested. That's why we did a cover for it and sent 5 copies to Heavy Sound.
And so by that time you were already
that was
Grave.
It, really. But we were already Grave when we released the Corpse demo. Yeah.
Right. So when did you sort of get off the island and start like playing shows with people?
I think we did. Our first show was in Norrköping, I believe, and it was maybe 89, something like that.
Right. So
89 or 90.
Wow.
I'm not sure.
Was that with any particular bands, or was that just like playing whatever you could find to play?
No, I can't really remember. I know we played there twice. Once was with Merciless.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
I think Therion was on the bill too.
Yep. So the transition in sound from Corpse to Grave, huge difference, right? What was it that sort of got you guys to like tune your guitars down and you to especially to like sing so much lower?
I don't think that between from the first Grave tape, the Sick Disgust Eternal tape, it wasn't that big of a transition. It was maybe we were a little bit more into death metal than we were on the Corpse time. But for us, it happened so fast. Everything.
Yeah.
We, because we were discovering new stuff all the time at that time, from 85 to, or maybe 86 to, when we did the Grave tapes, we just, we got overloaded with stuff we never heard of. So we just, and everything had to be more brutal than anyone else. That was the, you need to find the most brutal stuff. And then somebody came home with a Sodom album. We're like, this is the best thing I heard. And then suddenly someone came home with a first Death album, and we were like, what the fuck was this? And, that was it. You just constantly looked for stuff that was more brutal than the other.
Yeah. So by the time you guys,
I guess that's also happened with Grave. Then it was the same mentality. We tried to be more brutal than the tape before.
Yeah.
So I think on the first Grave tape, where Into the Grave, the song Into the Grave is on it as well. It was I think we had a lot of Blood Feast, Sepultura, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Influences. We were really into the Schizophrenia album for a while, and all of us, and the Jens, our drummer, really liked Igor's playing. So kind of shows on that tape, I think. And then on the next tape was the Sexual Mutilation tape. It was just a year after, I think. There was a lot of leprosy, death kind of influences on that one.
Right.
Oh yeah, there's a cat coming here.
That's amazing to hear these perspectives, because like listening to it, I didn't hear that so much as like some other stuff. So it's pretty cool to hear that, as the heaviness sort of like crept in, like you guys pushed the extremity too, which is
And then at the third demo, which became the Anatomia Corporis Humani, also in '89, we most likely discovered Carcass.
Right. so
Here's my cat.
Hi, kitty. So Carcass at the time must have just been mind blowing to hear, like when.
Yeah, for sure.
Going up the ladder.
That was the more Carcass and Napalm Death.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Repulsion.
So yeah, as opposed to like all the other bands, like you decided to, I'm guessing it was just out of necessity that like you stayed on vocals as well as playing guitar. Like was it just easier to like just stay with you? Because every other band that I can think of, unless I'm totally thinking wrong, had a standalone singer, but you were playing guitar and singing, which I've always viewed as like, I love that, because like I'm a giant Metallica fan. I'll be a thrash fan forever, and like Miller from Creator, Tom from Sodom, and James Hetfield, Dave Mustaine, Tom Araya, like all
Max Cavalera.
Max Cavalera, they all played and sung at the same time. And so that to me was always something special, and like something like godly. Like if someone can like do that and play riffs at the same time, it just seemed like at the time, just completely ridiculous. And I've only just been able to start playing guitar and doing it myself. So I remember like the first time I ever like sent you a message, it was something along the lines of, okay, how do you do this? And you were like, I don't know, I just do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's practice, I guess. You know, for a long time when we, you know, on the Gotland, the island we grew up, we didn't have any other thing to do. So basically, we had when we started. After a while, we found our own rehearsal place.
Right.
And it was in the middle of town. It was an old house, a yellow house, which is they call the yellow house recordings. The demo tapes are recorded in the yellow house. It was our rehearsal place. We had access to it whenever we wanted. We shared it with another band, but they were never there, so we didn't pay for it even. It was just there. When we just moved in, we were not even asked to come in and play. We just moved in.
Wow.
At first, we this is a nice place. Everybody's rehearsing here. Okay, we can also do it. So we just took our stuff and moved into the attic. And we up there, we just had to, you know, there was no heat or anything up there, so we had to draw some cables up there. And we rehearsed, and then after a while, we just moved downstairs where the real rehearsal rooms were. So. Anyway, so we were there all the time.
Amazing.
We didn't have much other things to do. We were there drinking beer and playing music.
That's amazing. That's probably why like everyone was so fucking good at like 15, 16 years old, because like, you know, when it snows, you can't go outside. You just have to stay inside and play guitar and jam with the band, you know?
Yeah, that was the most fun thing we could think of.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. I mean, like, and you guys are lucky, especially like if you're on an island like 3 hours away from like the capital of Sweden, like just to find 4 people that are interested in doing that at that time, you know, like, and making the cacophony of sound. Well, that's just amazing to me. So,
that's as I said, we're not that many people in that town or on that island. That really liked heavy brutal music. Yeah,
absolutely.
And there was like 4 of us who wanted to play it. So
awesome. Basically, from there, from the demo tapes, I'm guessing one of the demo tapes gets in the hands of someone from Century Media.
Yeah, I think it was, you know, it started to get, the whole scene was starting to get a buzz in the underground with all the tape trading and, you know, Nihilist, Entombed and Dismember and all of us were, and all the fan scenes and, you know.
Yeah.
It started to pick up around the world. It was still underground, but it was still, you know, it was getting more and more into it, and I think there was a few underground labels too, and there was this underground label called Mangled Beyond Recognition from Germany, and they wanted to release our 3rd demo on vinyl. It's a 12-inch.
Right.
So we said, yeah, sure, do it. Also, there was a company in England who was I can't remember the name of the label, but anyway we did a split LP with a band called Deviated Instinct.
Right.
And that was around the same time, and I think Entombed got signed, Dismember got signed to Nuclear Blast, I think, and Tiamat was releasing an album, and this guy Robert called us from Germany and said he had a label called Century Media, and we talked on the phone, and he always said, oh, maybe you could come down here to Germany and record in a real studio. You know, because all we did was recording on our 4-track.
Yeah.
And we can see how it works out, if we can use it for a compilation album, and maybe if it works out, if we get along, we can release an album later on. So we said, yeah, sure, why not? Go to Germany for the first time in our lives.
Yeah.
You know,
that must be insane.
we packed our gear into a small Fiat Ritmo, like a 2-door little, not even a station wagon. It was really, really small.
Yeah, like a hatchback.
The four of us and the instruments, and drove all the way down to Dortmund.
Wow. I mean, you guys are all giants too. Like, how did you fit in this tiny car?
And it was cramped. It was. I think I have some pictures here from. I was looking through my pictures yesterday.
That's amazing.
To see if I can find one. You have to edit a little bit later. But.
Yeah. It doesn't bother me, man. I let it roll.
Well, it doesn't really show much of the car. It broke down in the middle of the trip. The Vipers?
The Vipers, yep.
Yeah, they broke down and it was raining. Piss raining in the whole Autobahn. We had to go into the gas station and get one of those windshield Vipers and hang out the window and sweep so Jonas could see where we were driving. Finally, we got there, and it took a bit longer. We had to stay overnight somewhere and just sleep. So
that's amazing. But that
was pretty cool.
It's probably horrible at the time, but the stories you get to have, later on are the best.
Yeah, but it was a cool trip. We got to stay in the studio for a week. We recorded 5 songs, maybe 5-6 songs.
Right.
And 2 or 3 of them ended up on that In the Eyes of Death compilation.
Oh, right. Wow, okay.
You remember?
Yeah.
And there was a 7-inch came out to Tremendous Pain, a 7-inch.
Yes.
Immediate.
Wow. So that was recorded in Germany in, like, was it a professional studio or was it like someone's sort of like basement?
No, it was a professional studio, I think. I don't know anyone else recorded there, but it was a professional studio. The guys from Central Media knew these guys, and it was we were a bit afraid because we didn't know any German.
Yeah, I was gonna say
we had no idea. We couldn't speak German, and but they knew some guy who had done some live shows with Obituary early on.
Right.
So they say, we'll send him to the studio and as well.
Right.
And he knows English.
Right.
Okay, fuck it. Let's do it. We can go.
So you guys had to communicate in English?
We did communicate in English, yeah.
Crazy.
But and that was fine. It was not a big problem. We learned English pretty early here in Sweden.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a big problem, but we never really recorded or didn't know any technical stuff. But fuck it. We was death metal and punk anyway. We didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
We just want to go there and drink beer and play some. Anyway, we did record 4 or 5 songs for that. And we went out to see. Here's a picture from that. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
That's Ola. There.
Yep.
We went to a show with Pungent Stench, Abomination, and the Master.
Wow.
And that in Dortmund. That was Ola, and that's John Schaefer from Iced Earth.
Iced Earth. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He was there too. Doing some checking out with Central Media or some other, I can't remember, but we met there.
Right.
It was pretty cool.
Because that's around the same time as, like, I think Iced Earth are, like, getting signed to Century Media, right?
Yeah, I think it was the same thing, he came there and he was also at the show and he was there talking to
wow.
Central Media as well.
That's amazing that you guys, like, I didn't even picture in my mind that, like, that crossover was happening at that time because I still love those 2 first Iced Earth records. I think they're cool.
Awesome. I never really got into them, but it's just me.
It's just really fast Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
So were you guys happy with how the sound came out? Did you feel like it was? No.
No, we weren't happy at all with it. We thought it sounded lame. Actually, we were not happy.
Right.
And but at the same time, we were more interested in drinking the beer than
recording.
Than actually explain what we wanted.
Right.
I guess. So it was good fun, but no, it didn't. It really didn't. When we started mixing it, and we were like, "No, this is not really great. It doesn't really sound like us. It's too weak."
Right. Were you guys using?
So we were like, "No, it's not. This is not going to happen again. We're not recording
in Germany,
outside Sweden."
Yeah.
Because we want to explain.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you obviously things worked out well enough that Century Media said like, hey, let's do a full length, right?
Yep.
And so you guys said like, I'm sure you were watching like Carnage and Entombed, go record at Sunlight. So was that sort of like where you got the inspiration to head to Sunlight? Or was it Century Media saying like, hey, you should hit Sunlight?
No, I think maybe I don't remember if they said we should go to Sunlight or not. I can't remember that, but maybe they did, because they knew they've seen how or heard Entombed and Carnage and the things coming out of Sunlight. So yeah, maybe they had. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I can't remember. But the thing was that what I remember was that we said we're not going to Germany. We're not going back to Germany to record, because they don't clearly understand what we want to sound like.
Yeah.
Yep. And we had arguments. We just not sitting there not only drinking beer. We drank a lot of beer, but we'd had arguments about the sound, but they couldn't really get it through.
Yeah.
And they didn't really understand what we were after. So we said, no, we don't want to do Germany again. So what can we do? And around that same time, we decided to move away from Gotland to Stockholm, because we got the record contract.
Yeah.
We were ready to go, and being based at Gotland was hard enough, to get gigs and stuff, because we only got away to play maybe once or twice before we moved. So
yeah,
we want to move to Stockholm. There was a bigger scene there, and maybe easier to get the gigs, and everybody who had the same musical interest as us was in Stockholm.
Yeah.
We had started to get to know Entombed and Treblinka or Tiamat or Unleashed and all these bands. We were all starting, begin to be friends with them as well, and met them at gigs and so on. So
that's awesome.
That way we took that decision to move to Stockholm. And then we said, okay, what's the options really? If we want to record somewhere, where can we record? The only one who seems to know what we're doing is Thomas.
Yeah.
And we were like, but maybe we don't want to, go there, because everybody will compare us to Entombed. And it was really, we had a little bit of, we thought about it a bit, and then we decided to ask Thomas if we could come there and just record one song, just to see how it worked. And we did. We recorded the song Obscure Infinity.
Yeah.
I think. And we got along fine with Thomas, and there was no question about it that we would record a first album there after that.
Yeah. And like I definitely think Into the Grave stands way apart from like everything else that was happening, because it sounded like in the times that I've spoken to you previously, it sounded like you just Dismember, Carnage, Nihilist Entombed, they all had the HM2 pedal, the buzzsaw thing going. Like, that was their sound. And you know, you guys, whatever you used on that record, I don't know what you guys must have used, but it is even more evil sounding. It is heavier sounding. It is like grittier sounding. I love it. Like, I've tried so many different pedals to see if I could like get even close to that sound, and I still can't even like do it. And yeah, like, whatever you guys must have said to Thomas and decided to use on that record blows my mind.
Yeah, well, I can't really remember what we. It's been a while.
Yes. Yes.
It's a few years ago.
It's about 30 years.
What is it, 30 years?
It's about that.
Yeah,
it's close
years,
to it.
99, 91?
Yeah.
Well, we definitely told him, I know we told him, we're not here to, you know, sound like Entombed or Dismember or any other of these bands, because we're not them. We don't want to sound like them, but we want to use the studio because we like how you think and how everything sounds in here. But we're not here to copy their sound, so just so you know. And also, we're not them, you know.
Yeah.
We were never, we weren't, we were not that, how do you say, we don't play like them.
Yeah, definitely.
We play different than them, and that shows too, and that noticed. And as I know, Orvar said it. Thomas said it a bunch of times that to sound like Entombed, you got to have Uffe as a guitar player.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the hard truth. You know, many bands have tried, and you can get out the HM2 sound of a amplifier, but Uffe has its own sound. So
and without.
But we didn't use the HM2 pedal at all. We used this one, not exactly this one, but one of these.
Oh, a DS1. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
we used it, and we also, if I can remember, we have talked about it with Ola and Jonas, but not so sure if we could, any of us could remember correctly. But this, I got it from Ola today. That because normally he had D drums,
right,
in his studio.
Yeah.
But Jensa didn't really like the D drums.
Yeah.
So we asked to use real drums.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want it to be syntare.
Yeah.
No. He was not into synth music. He didn't want to use D drums. So.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, he didn't want to use the D drums. He didn't like it, and we asked to use real drums. But we came to a compromise. So I think we actually used real toms and stuff, but the kicks were D drums.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems to be, from what I can make out, the closest anyone got to using like a full kit was everything but a kick drum. Like, it was the digital kick. So that's awesome. That's cool. So real toms.
But I know because if I remember correctly, most people use the D drum toms as well.
Wow.
But we didn't want to use them. I'm not sure if everybody did it.
Yeah.
A lot of bands use the D drums.
Yeah.
And then we also tried out to use our Fender amps with the DS1 because that's what we used live or rehearse. But I don't think it really worked out in the studio. So we used his PV or his Marshall.
Right. And so
the DS1.
And that whatever setting on that was, it's just so filthy. I love it. It's just disgusting. And so you guys really, to me at least, stood very far apart. And just the level in which you guys, like, vocally, you know, there's John Tardy, there's Chris Reifert, there's Martin Van Drunen, and then there's Jörgen Sandstrom. Like, they're the four best death metal vocalists of all time to me. So,
well, thank you very much.
So, and
I'm honored to be mentioned next to these guys because they're really people I look up to and some of my influences as well. I mean, Chris Reifert for me is probably has the most disgusting voice ever. I love it. Yeah. You know, favorite. And then Martin Van Drunen is big, and Pestilence. That Consuming Impulse album was a major influence on Grave.
Yeah.
We listened to it so many times when it came out. Did that one and Severe Survival album.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, those two records for me are just like, they set the tone for everything, you know. So
yeah, and I remember first time I heard John Tardy, I was like, "What the fuck? What is this? You know, this is mind blowing. How can you sound like that?"
Yeah.
You know, I loved it.
It's so good, you know, and so you four for me like were all distinctly very different. And even though Martin Van Drunen said that he first heard those Executioner demos, you know, before Obituary, he said he heard those and he was like, I want to sing like that guy. But, you know, because he's not John Tardy, it came out a different way.
Yeah.
There's some similarities, but it's still very different. And, I love all those different approaches. You go down to like some sub-level. Chris Reifert just sounds like he's dying.
Yeah, total maniac.
Yeah, and then you know, John Tardy and Martin Van Drunen all sound like they're just being tortured to death, which is incredible. So yeah, I hold your voice very high above with those other three above the rest of the death metal singers. Because it's so unique and so powerful, and especially the way it came out in Death Breath, like that blew my mind. So,
right.
Once you guys were like playing back the record, hearing it sort of as you finished it with Thomas, you know, what were you thinking? Were you guys stoked?
Yeah. Yeah, we were really happy about it. You know, to just imagine it, we did it all in 10 days.
Wow.
You know, that's it, with mix and everything.
Yeah. And were you guys...
That's all the time we had, every band. It was just, okay, what do we do? Plug it in and let's go. You know, I did all the vocals in, I think, 2 nights or something.
Wow. You must have been dead after that.
Yeah, well, I can't remember how I felt afterwards, but probably, yeah. I remember one thing, though, one cool story from that time. We were recording, I can't remember which song it is, but it has a middle part where we put some harmonizer on it.
Yeah, and, into the Grave, like the keys?
No, it's a harmonizer on the vocals in the middle, and it's more like a speech thing in the middle of the song. It's I don't know, emo shit.
Wow.
And we were doing it in the studio with the harmonizer, and everything turned black. And that studio was underground, so there was no windows or anything. So I was in that only the one room they had. It was pitch black. I heard Thomas say, "Oh, what happened? Oh, there's no lights." And he held up a lighter and walked out, and the whole town had shut down.
Oh shit!
It was pitch black everywhere. I was like, yeah, that's the spirit, evil shit.
I mean, if that's not telling you like what's going on, that's amazing. So,
but it was. I can't really tell much more about it, really. I can't remember much from recording it otherwise than...
Yeah.
When we got the album, I remember Ola called me and we met up in town and we had a look, and the first thing we said, what the fuck? Why did they put that silver string on top of the record? With a grave into the grave. Why did you do that? we got used to it, but it was it was like, why? That's not evil.
I have a really funny story about that. I think I was about, this might have been like, I might have been 16, and I had a bunch of money, and I was like, I'm going to go to the record store. And I think I heard Grave first when I was around 15, and it just blew my mind. And I was like, man, it'd be awesome to own like one of the records. So I catch a bus into town, and I go to the record store, and I'm looking through the shelf, and I see, oh shit, it's Into the Grave, and then I see this silver border around it, and I'm like, oh, this has to be a bootleg or something, because when I looked on the internet, it came up just like the actual, like the regular photo without the border around it. Mm. And so like I didn't know. I'm like, this is a bootleg. I'm not buying this. And I remember the price tag on it. It was only $20 Australian. And now, like, if you saw that now, it'd be like 180 or something like that. It'd be just ridiculous. So.
But it looked bootleg, that silver border.
No.
Yeah.
So did
but
they?
We were happy about it. We listened to it, and it sounded great. And, finally got to hold the vinyl in your hand.
Yeah.
That was that feeling never came back again.
Really, even for the second one?
No.
Wow.
The first one was special.
Yeah, I guess that's the first one. The number one. Wow. And did they ever explain to you why they decided to put the border around it?
No, I can't remember.
Wow.
Really.
Wow.
if I think maybe because they couldn't really, because the logo was faded into the album and spreading out and you couldn't really see it.
Right.
I guess that's what.
Right. Did you guys like what happened with the reception of that album? Did you find that like people really liked it? Was there much in terms of magazines? Did you guys get to tour?
Yeah, as far as I can remember, we got good reviews and what I can remember, and we had a tour lined up from. I don't remember really when it came out, what time of year, but we started a tour in I think in after summer, September or something.
Right.
In 91.
Right.
And our first tour was with Malevolent Creation in Europe for a month. They released 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
And we had released Into the Grave, so we opened up on the headline.
That's amazing. What was it like?
It was an amazing time.
Yeah, I was going to say, because those dudes are kind of crazy, so I can only imagine what the drinking situation must have been like.
Still hungover.
That's amazing. So I'm guessing, it probably wasn't an extensive tour. So you probably came back home, and was it just going straight back to work, getting You'll Never See put together?
I think as it went, we had that tour. It was amazing. It was the most fun that we ever had. Being we were not. Let's see, 91. I was 19.
Wow.
Years old when we first got on that tour, and it was just crazy. Some really weird places in Germany, out in fields, and it was still so underground. Didn't really show up shitloads of people, but it still showed up quite a few,
Yeah.
And we met real cool people, and it was real fun. It was just a big party for a month, really.
That's amazing.
We had so much fun.
Were you guys on like a bus or a van?
Huh?
Were you on a bus or a van?
We started in a van, but ended up in in a bus. I'll show you the bus. I know I have a picture from it.
That's awesome.
No, somewhere here. Got some good pictures from that tour.
I hope these pictures make it into Orvar's book.
I haven't really gave that much of a look yet for him, but yeah, he wants some pictures. This is Jensa, our drummer, and Mark Simpson, the drummer from Malevolent Creation, outside that tour bus, which has a bunch of horses on it. I don't know.
That's so cool.
Had a bunch of running horses motifs, like Indian kind of looking nightliner. But when we came out first, we had to go in a van, and then maybe a week in or something, we had that bus. And it was good fun.
That's
basically, it looked like this for a month, sitting around the table like that.
That's
drinking beer.
That's a great photo. Great photo. Do you know where that was?
This is what I think it was in a town called Kassel, Germany.
Right. Sweet. So was the tour?
We had a day off and we went out to have a few beers in the town. So.
Right. Was the tour mostly through Germany, or did you go into other countries?
No, we started. It was around in Europe. It was mostly. We started in, I think, Europe. There you go. It's the tour dates on the back. We started in Holland.
Yep.
Then went through Germany and then back into Holland, Belgium, France, Holland, Belgium, and Holland.
That's incredible. That's incredible that you still have that shirt too.
Yeah. Actually, I got it back from my dad because I gave him one when he came back from tour, and he found them in his drawer somewhere. And he said, do you want this back? And I was like, yeah, sure.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing. Yeah, so that tour must have just been like the greatest time ever.
Yeah, we did some really cool shows there, and one of them was a festival. I think it was with Massacre, and the Demolition was on tour at the same time.
Wow.
And we met up with them and played. Morgoth was on that too that night.
Wow.
That was good. It was good fun, 19 years old, traveling around.
That's some death thrash craziness right there.
It was fun. Good fun. And anyway, we got to... Then during that tour, we got offered to go to America with on a US tour with Massacre.
Wow.
After the tour. So we said, oh yeah, sure. Let's go to USA.
Wow.
So they put us on a flight to the States. We did maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months. So
what's it like for a fresh-faced Swedish bunch of Swedes to experience America for the first time at 19?
Yeah, it was something else, It was good times.
That's amazing. Did you get to meet anyone in America that you might have been like tape trading with, or like that?
Yeah,
that you
for
really
sure. All over the place. Even in Germany and Holland, of course, we met a lot of those people that we've been tape trading with. And we came to San Francisco. We got to meet Hex. The band Hex.
Yeah.
Of course, and Autopsy guys came out. Sadus guys.
Wow.
All at one show.
That must be mind-blowing.
Everyone was there. And then we came to Florida, everybody, D-Side came out, Malevolent came out.
That's incredible to think, like, just two different worlds, like, colliding, like the Tampa and Sweden, like, Jesus Christ, it's so cool to think about.
Yeah.
And that's all off the first record too, so it must have made like a really good impact, and you guys must have been, like,
we must say that we were in the States. It went very well for us, in in the States, and we did really good in California, for example. We played LA. We played the Gazaris. I don't know if it's still there.
It turned into.
I think it's called something else now.
Well, it got turned into the Key Club, and then the Key Club ended, and now it's like a fancy nightclub that all the rappers go to.
We played the Gazaris, and it was packed, you know.
That's amazing.
I met one guy who was in that pit that night. I met him late. No, our bass player met him later on. It was Dino from Fear Factory.
Wow.
What they called Fear Factory?
Yeah, Fear Factory. Yeah. Yeah. Dino from Fear Factory. Yeah. Absolutely mind blowing that like just that whole sphere was like mixing. That's so cool.
That was the first time I met Gene Hoglan as well. That night.
Wow.
He came out too.
That's incredible. That must have been like the best time of your life at that point.
For sure. It was, you know, to meet all these people and only 19 years old. I was not even allowed in the clubs.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because like the drinking age being 21, did they care that you guys were like 19?
I don't think they ever asked.
That's cool.
I remember they asked for when we first came to when we landed in I think it was in Fort Lauderdale or Miami or something. We went to Fort Lauderdale anyway, and we were about to go to a club. It was a rock club just outside the hotel.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't let us in because we were too young.
Yeah.
And so we walked back to the hotel and grabbed other IDs. You know, the other, not the passports, but the other ones.
Yeah.
And they couldn't read it. They were like, oh, I don't know where it is. Okay, go in.
Yeah.
So let us in anyway.
Amazing. But you guys were all like, you know, you're all like way taller, so it probably would have been easier to just like get by doing that. So
yeah,
that's awesome. Did you get to do any other tours through that time?
Straight after that tour, we went back on a European tour again.
Wow.
Or maybe it was, maybe we recorded, I can't remember. No, I think we actually went back and did a Massacre and Demolition Hammer tour in Europe.
Oh my God.
Straight after that. Because Massacre, we got along well in the States. And that's also, I mean, we were huge Death fans.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
Death was our, you know, major influence on us. And Massacre was basically just Death members.
Yeah.
So it was a big thing for us too, you know.
Yeah.
And we got along good with them, and we had a good fun. So they asked us to join on the European tour.
That's amazing.
And it was us and Demolition Hammer too.
Yeah, and Demolition Hammer are like one of my favorite bands of all time.
It became one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
During that tour.
Like, wow, those guys are flawless musicians. Like, they are absolutely perfect. So, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was amazing. It was we got along so well together too. You know, we shared the bus, all three bands, and
wow.
we had awesome, really good times.
That's amazing.
With them as well. Vinny Daze was still alive, and he was, you know, doing the drums. Yeah. He did my first tattoo on that tour.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Here's a picture of him actually doing one of them.
Holy shit. On
that tour?
Yeah, because he was like a tattoo artist, right? Like, that was his job. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he brought his
tattoo machine
on tour. And,
amazing.
You know, and sometimes he hooked up with people and had them, did some, you know, tattoos and...
That's amazing. That's amazing that your first tattoo was by Vinny. Like, yeah, it's super sad what happened to him. I think he died from like eating something poisonous. Is that right?
Yeah.
Like
he was on a tattoo convention in Japan, I think, and came home and then I can't really. I don't know the full story. This is just from what I heard. He came home to the States and he had a stomach pain, and later that afternoon he died. I'm not sure what it was. So.
Wow, that's so sad because he was an amazing, amazing drummer, as well as tattoo artist. Like,
and a person.
Yeah, that too.
He was amazing. It was really standout. It was real fun, real nice guy. You know.
That is so amazing.
Really sad.
Yeah, really, really sad, and I hope one day I get to actually see Demolition Hammer play live, because that would be amazing, and but that's a really amazing memory that you have of Vinny. So cool. So like at that point in time, like 3 massive tours, like did you guys start to be able to like kind of live off the band a little?
No.
No
chance.
Just coming home broke.
Yeah, I think they paid us like $5 a day or something.
Jesus Christ!
To buy some cigarettes.
Yeah,
that's it. But I don't know. We didn't really care.
No, at that age you don't. You just like want to do
at
something.
That point, we knew it was an underground scene and everything, and I guess obviously somebody made money, but. They put it on our account.
Yeah, amazing.
I don't know.
Amazing. So you finished that tour, and is that when the ball starts rolling for the next record?
Yeah, I think we already had plans because we wanted to. That's kind of how it went. It was like, you tour for a bit and then you go record something new and then you want to go back out on tour again.
Right.
And so I think we had the plans already to do You'll Never See, the second album, pretty soon after we got home from the tours. And I'm pretty sure we did some gigs in between too, some festivals, or went to Poland or whatever it was, some festivals. That was pretty good too, because they also had a lot of people in Poland coming to the shows. There were like bigger stages there.
Right. Yeah, it seems like that from like some of those like at the gates things and all that sort of stuff. It just seemed like the production and the stages and everything in Poland was just like huge.
It was huge. It was a lot bigger than we experienced in the rest of Europe.
Yeah. Poland has like some crazy metal fans. It's like it's just like very big there. That's
exactly. Trying to find a picture of it, because I know I have a picture in. I can dig it later from the You'll Never See recording.
Oh, dude, yeah. If you find that, let me know.
Yeah, it's in here somewhere. If you don't mind me looking.
No, go for it. But while you're looking for that, speaking of the You'll Never See recording, like, did it change? Did you guys get to spend some more time in the studio? Did the budget go up to be able to like record more? Because the sound was very different from the first record, and I love the sound of both. I think they're amazing. So once it came to You'll Never See, it definitely became a little more chainsaw-y sounding, but the songs were super catchy, so it fit.
Yeah.
What was your memory of?
I don't think we had more budget. I can never imagine that. It was funny, but I think we had about the same time in the studio, maybe a day or two more.
Right.
I guess it's just I don't really remember either. We recorded this around pretty much with the same gear.
Right. Do you guys did you remember anything from you guys like sort of putting the album together? If there was anything in particular from that record that you were trying to achieve musically, or was there anything in the studio that you were trying to change up?
from a no, but I had recently just started playing bass because on that guitar on that right before that we're recording on that last tour with the Demolition Hammer and Massacre. Jonas, our bass player, quit the band in the middle of tour, so I had to start,
right,
handling the bass instead of the guitar.
Right.
And I think maybe I don't think that ended up changing the sound or anything, but from what I can remember, our drummer wanted to be a little bit more mid-paced and not play that much fast stuff anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was getting sweaty on stage.
What a terrible thing,
he always liked that mid-paced, that kind of stuff. And as we toured a lot with Massacre, which had Bill Andrews on drums, and and he was a lot about that. And and I think Jensa picked that up too, and he was like, this is a lot better,
Yeah. I think it was Graves that started my love for like the mid-paced and slower stuff, because I was like, you guys don't have especially most of Sweden was like, you guys didn't use blast beats. It wasn't like, and it was even heavier. Like using too many blast beats is not heavy to me, at least. So all of the space in Graves' music was just magic like that. Especially that second album. Like there was so much, like so many doomy style riffs in there and everything. Just the way that things broke down was really, really cool. So I really, really dig it. And what do we all I think, as I said, I've watched your interviews with Orvar, for example. Yeah.
And he said something about Candlemass, that Candlemass was accepted in the thrash and the death metal kind of community, even if it wasn't death metal, they were they played with that kind of bands there in Sweden. And we all liked Candlemass, and Autopsy obviously liked Candlemass and Trouble, as we did.
Yeah.
So I think the Doom influences came straight, pretty much from these three bands, Autopsy, Candlemass, and Trouble.
Yeah. Trouble being the best, if you ask me.
And Trouble is probably influenced both Candlemass and Autopsy. So
yeah, absolutely. Especially in like those weird harmonies in Autopsy, like that comes straight from
exactly.
Trouble.
If you listen to the In the Grip of Winter EP, I was like, wait a minute. I know exactly what they've been listening to while smoking those joints.
Yeah, those jazz cigarettes.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I hadn't really even thought about it all that much until you just said it like that. Like, yeah, it really does come from Trouble. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really awesome. So as you finish up recording with Thomas for You'll Never See, you're doing vocals, rhythm guitars, and playing the bass on the recording. Were you guys satisfied with how You'll Never See sounded?
Yeah, at the time I think so. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't. We never really. There's always stuff. Always, you could do things differently when you're done. But
yeah,
I think all in all, we were happy about it.
Awesome.
It was not that messy, or if you say messy, but that's a good thing on Into the Grave. But
it
was a bit more. It's not that. How do you
precise?
It's more precise.
It's more precise. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. When it came out, what were the reviews like? What was the reception like? Did people dig it? Did you get to do more crazy tours?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got it has a good reception from magazines and people in general. We went out on tour with I think Bolt Thrower.
Wow.
I think Bolt Thrower was on You'll Never See. There was at least in '93. We did a tour with I can't remember them all, but Bolt Thrower and Vader, I remember that. I think that was before Soulless album.
Yeah, and that must have been incredible to see Vader and Bolt Thrower at that time too, because those guys were like.
That was Vader's first European tour.
Wow. Wow. So they had only just released the first record at that time?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, because the Vader demos are just incredible.
Yeah, that was it.
Wow.
So yeah, that was and Bolt Thrower, which was also one of those early bands back in '89 when we was major influence too. We always loved Bolt Thrower. Realm of Chaos albums.
Yeah. That's amazing.
One of the best albums I've heard.
Yeah. So you stayed on bass at that time, and Ola just started playing guitar. You guys never got a second guitarist while you were in.
We were actually thinking about getting a new bass player.
Right. Right.
Because I wanted to get back to guitar.
Right.
But then again, we kind of grew into it, and we knew each other, and we just talked about it and getting a new band member, and it was easier just being three people too.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Because we had known each other for so long since we were 13 and played together since we were 13. It was just easier to just be the three of us.
Yeah, yeah. Sure.
And I put the distortion on the bass guitar, and nobody could tell the difference anyway. So it was just fuck it. Let's just keep it 3 piece. It's cool with 3 pieces too. Ramon, Motorhead, and
yeah. Well, I mean, as you guys went on to Soulless, the music opened up and had a little bit more of a swing and a groove to it, and you could hear the bass a little more too. So I'm guessing you were pushing for the bass to be in the mix a little more.
Yeah, well, I guess we kind of had it in mind that as we were going out to be on a 3-piece live, we can't cheat too much on the record scene.
Yeah.
Got to be somehow a little bit.
Absolutely.
Live feeling to it.
Well, so you left either through or after the Soulless era. What took you out of the band? Were you headed over to do anything else? Were you just tired of it?
We did Soulless, and we did. It was we did at least 2 European tours and an American tour. It was pretty standard for the You'll Never See. And then we did Soulless, and we went out on a few more tours in Europe and started the headlining shows. And we did I think we did a US tour with Cannibal Corpse, and Samael, and Acid Bath was on that short tour too. Yeah. And I think it was when we were in the States. I think we started doing the Cannibal Corpse tour, and then we stayed and played a bunch of shows on our own too, or extended the tour.
Yeah.
But anyway, I might be wrong. But then anyway, I kind of took that decision that I can't do this. It wasn't so fun anymore. I didn't feel like it was giving me more than headaches every day. and so after leaving,
what sort of like made you go, okay, bass player role in Entombed is opened up. Let's jump back in.
No, actually, Kenta Philipsson, my Lord K, as you might know him from Domedagen and the Project 8.
Right.
He had a band called Leukemia.
Right.
And then that Leukemia turned into a band. He changed names anyway. And when I quit Grave, I told him I'm gonna start playing with you in your band because we were having fun. We always sang, we didn't live in the same town, but whenever we met or we talked, and we had a good time. And I really liked his stuff and his playing and everything. So I said, I'm gonna start playing with you. Okay. So he was happy about it, and then I was out in town in Stockholm one night, and I think it was Alex and LG I bumped into. I'm not sure. And we were tag along, and we went out having a few beers and met them on Subway, and they started to asking if I could just, do one show with them, because Lasse was somewhere else in South America, I think.
Right.
And they had this big show in a big festival here in Sweden coming up that they didn't want to miss, and asked if I could stand in, do that show. Yeah, sure. When is it? It's in 2 weeks. Okay. Okay, so what about rehearse? Yeah, maybe not this week, but maybe next week.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. But which songs should we play? It's a bunch of new ones, and then there's fucking hell. Okay, give me some tapes and the songs, and I can start, try to figure out the songs at least.
Yeah.
So that's it. I think we had 2 or 3 rehearsals before we went to that festival, which was, we played on a Saturday. We went there on a Thursday, drank Thursday, Friday. Massive amounts of alcohol, and we woke up Saturday morning. We were supposed to play in the afternoon, and I was like, the riffs, where are the riffs?
Yeah.
So I had to go through them all again, and we did that show, and it worked out fine, and we had a good time. And eventually they asked, I don't know really what happened to Lars and them, really never asked either, but they asked me to join the band after on, a little bit after that. So.
Right, yeah, and I'm sure there probably wasn't any hesitation to do that, right?
Well, a little bit at first, because I knew it was going to end up me being on tour again, and so I didn't really was happy about it.
Yeah.
With Grave anymore, I wasn't really sure if it's going to be any difference now. So
yeah.
But it was a bit hesitated, for sure. But at the same time, it was 95, right? I was 24 years old and didn't really want to go start working either. So
yeah.
So and then we hanged out a lot, and we had was a good chemistry, and we all had fun. So
yeah. Because I'm walking into that lineup of personalities must have been kind of incredible, because they were, kind of superstars in death metal at the time. You know what I mean? I think the only bands bigger than were probably Napalm Death and Morbid Angel, really. And Death probably. But just to probably be in that mix of people is pretty awesome. And, to be on a record to ride with Nick, Alex, Ufa, and LG, that must have been pretty damn cool.
Yeah, that's also one of the things where I know that when I started playing with them, I kind of learned different ways of, it was new musicianship again. It was something new, and I learned a lot by playing with them. So that as well was one of the things that this is really fun. I can actually, learn something from this too.
Yeah.
And
because like Nick's music and just the way that Ufa like plays is just that must have had to completely change the way that you look at everything.
Yeah, it was good fun, and especially live. We were out touring, and when I joined them, they were in the middle of negotiating with getting out of Eric and getting a new contract. So it was a big, was from 95 to 97 or something. We just really didn't know what to do. So that's when we ended up doing all kinds of stupid shit. Doing like TV shows and stuff,
I remember the TV show.
Hosting a TV show, yes, because at least they put some money on the table and got us free beers and stuff like that.
But I remember like seeing the like the TV like the segments where you guys were all wearing like white clothes and stuff.
Yeah, with white jeans and a blue shirt. It was a small television channel. It wasn't major.
Yeah.
And it was a game show, whatever you called it.
Yeah.
It was just stupid fun. We had a good time though. It wasn't that. Yeah. It's good fun.
Yeah.
Good fun and big parties every night. So.
Absolutely. And I think you guys, well, at least Nick, especially more than anyone else perhaps, was moving away from that, straight on death metal sound. And Entombed, like for years to come, maybe until Morningstar, you guys went like much more like rock and roll-y sort of sound as opposed to like crushing death metal and 10,000 miles an hour, So that must have been a different change for you.
When was that? Say that again.
So from To Ride sort of through to about Morningstar, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Like it was much more like
I think it started already back on the To Ride album, because Nicky brought in a lot of the influences from the same influences as the Helicopters turned out, but in a different sound kind of. But he brought a lot of that stuff into the To Ride album too, I think. Also, we did some crazy tours with that. In between that, we led into, when we talked about being able to learn stuff, we did a Scandinavian tour with Refused and Fireside.
That's amazing.
I don't know if you remember Fireside. They were about to sign with the Rick Rubin and everything. And,
wow, okay.
They really got interested, over there, but it never really happened, I think. And Refused, of course, and we did a Swedish tour, and that was just amazing. That's when I really, we started to, at least me getting into the band and playing a lot live. That was really fun. Good times. And then, then we recorded the To Ride album and extensive touring all the way.
Yeah.
I think we were never home. And it was, we played with so many bands, and it was really fun. Good times too.
Were there any particular highlights through that time that you can remember in some crazy country with some crazy band in some crazy situation?
Yeah, well, I remember we went to Belgrade.
Right.
And it was, this must have been 97, 98 or something, on the To Ride tour, and we had Mary Beats Jane as a support act, Swedish band. And they were traveling in a van, and we had our nightliner, and LG was from, LG's mother is from Macedonia, so he knows the language.
Oh, wow, okay.
And he was sitting up front when we came through the customs, and the customs were pretty hard, against bands coming into their country and stuff. So they just pulled over and they were like, LG Petrol. And he's like, blah, 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 and start talking. And we just went through. It was no problem. He invited them to the concert and everything.
That's amazing. That's
amazing. And then later on, Mary B. Jane, they stopped them totally and ripped out everything in their car and took them for hours to get through there.
Oh my god!
But Belgrade was a bit different. I've never been to those war-ridden countries before. It was just after the war too, so it was a bit,
As especially around that time, 97, 98. That's when it was like all the devastation really happened.
Yeah.
So it must have been insane to sort of go through that sort of Eastern Europe area.
Yeah, same thing with we were on the first tour in 91. It was just after the Berlin Wall too.
Oh wow, yeah.
We went into the East Germany and played, and it was weird to see how the Eastern countries was divided or different from from the Western countries. Yeah. How far behind they were in fashion and everything.
Yeah. It must have looked insane. I can't even.
In culture, food culture, and everything. It was just, what? You still here? You still eat tongue? Don't feed me cow tongue. I don't want the cow tongue. And that was like the best thing they had, and they're like, no, don't feed me that.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus. So around that time, also one of the biggest sort of departures. I think Nick leaves the band after the Two Ride era, right? Like he goes to the Helicopters for the full time. Like, what was it like losing Nick?
Yeah, it was sad, of course. We really didn't know what to do when he came up with that decision, and everybody was a bit, what are we gonna do? He was the main songwriter and everything. We're gonna do this, or we're gonna keep on, or we're gonna do something else, or whatever. We decided to give it a try. Without him, and we asked Peter to come out on tour to see because Peter and Uffe played together in, I think, Murder Squad already.
Right.
And Peter's been, in the scene for a long time too.
Yeah.
Friends with everybody, and we all knew him.
Yeah. Worked out pretty well.
And it worked out fine. It was kind of weird times, but trying to figure out what to do without the main songwriter in the band. Yeah. And I think that's why maybe the same difference came out as it did. I like the album. I like it. I like the album, but it's not. When it came out, it didn't really feel like it was another Entombed album.
Yeah. Well, I mean, once you lose the main songwriter, like things change a little bit. It wasn't the biggest departure, but you could notice that things definitely changed.
Yeah. It was, for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, we still wanted to give it a try and everything, and people didn't really like the album as much as we did at the time.
Right.
I think a lot of people afterwards, when they kind of nowadays they say, it's not that bad actually. but at that time they were like, it's not really what Entombed sound like.
What record label did like Two Ride and Same Difference come out on? Were they the major labels? I forget what.
It was Music for Nations.
Okay, so it's still like big indie.
Yeah.
Cool. And so for the next few records, did you stay with Music for Nations?
Wow, good question.
Because I know, like, around that time, as the 90s are ending, like, metal is, like, super unpopular. Everyone's angry at every label. Everyone's changing every label. Everyone's trying to, like, have some money. Everyone's trying to still be booked for tours and stuff like that. It seemed pretty crazy to be able to, like, just try and survive while all the music landscape was changing.
Didn't think much about it at the time. I
Right.
mean, we just, we toured a lot. We had no problems in getting tours. We was out there touring all the time. And when we were home, we was trying to, make another album.
Yeah.
Sometimes we got fed up with it in between, and we all started to go to, different educations or to work. Just to the kind of, get out of it a bit, because it's a different world when you're out there touring all the time. It gets on you, it wears on you.
Yeah.
But so at times we were like, oh no, we just have to do something normal. And we got out and got some jobs and started educated, go to different, whatever.
Yeah. That's cool.
But at the same time, I mean, we ended up with our management. We had a manager, Dave. He ended up on the Sanctuary management, which led us to go on tour with Iron Maiden and stuff like that. And when he started work for them, it got a bit weird for us, because we got booked on big tours, and big promoters and everything, but they didn't really know how to handle a small band like us. So it was more like, okay, you go out on tour, we send them on tour, we get Maiden.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. So we ended up on big tour promoters in Germany and everything, but they really didn't know how to do the death metal small stuff. So it was not really promoted very well at some places, which ended up, people didn't know we were playing. So we had to go back and think about stuff and say, no, we're going to take it back again. Yeah. We had to think a bit.
Yeah.
And that's when I think we started doing with Uprising, going back a little bit and doing things on our own a little bit more.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, around the end of the 90s, like I think it was like around 97 or 98 or so, you guys did a tour with Neurosis. Do you remember much from that tour?
Yeah, of course. Not much, but the thing is, my memory is pretty bad in general. It's not. It's really bad. But I remember because Uffe was a big fan of Neurosis. I think they released Through Silver and Blood at that time. Uffe was a big fan, and he was really pushing for us to go on tour with them, and it ended up working out, and so we did a European tour with Neurosis and Breach from Sweden too. And at the first gig we did in England, I think we started a tour in England, and I'd never seen them live before, or I only heard a few songs, and I was out having a cigarette, and they started carrying out people from the audience who passed out. I was like, what? Then it came out, a girl had passed out, and after a minute or two there came another girl who passed out. I thought, what is this? What's going on in there? What kind of band is this? And I walked in, and it was so loud. It was before all these, restrictions with sound. And And the bass, the low bass they had, and Noah's, hammering on the pedals and stuff.
The keyboards, and it just pierces your head.
His bass pedals and everything.
The organ pedals, yeah.
And it was a really small venue. It was really, really hot in there. And and that noise and that anger that they displayed must have been too much for at least 5 or 6 of them, because they were carrying them out of the venue, one after one.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, this is amazing. What a cool band,
Yeah.
And we had a really good time on that tour. It was good fun. Played very good shows, and I think we switched, every now and then. They played, they headlined, or if they headlined on the whole tour, I can't remember really.
Wow.
But it was amazing to see. They were really, really, really something else from what I've seen before.
Yeah, because like
the tribal drums and the still cameras that he was moving around in like frames.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I'm so jealous that you got to go out on the Through Silver and Blood tour, because to me that's like a historic time in music. For me, at least it was like a line in the sand from what I can see. When Through Silver and Blood came out, like everything that sort of came from like thrash sort of stopped, and then like Neurosis sort of cut in this new sound, this sludge, and then through getting to know Scott, and there was times where he would tell me about like basically they were just looking to ruin people from the stage with their sound on the Through Silver and Blood tour. They just wanted to like project as much like angst into the people and like overwhelm them as much as they could. So just hearing this story is incredible.
Yeah, it was. I mean, that's exactly what I think. If he said so, he managed it really well. They displayed. I never seen a band so angry.
Yeah. Or
display so much anger towards anything.
Yeah.
Music-wise, it was just amazing. Every night, and after the show, you couldn't really speak to them.
Right.
Because they were still in there, so they were still. When they came off stage, they were still so pumped up. It was like, I wouldn't say you couldn't speak to them. I didn't dare speak to them. When they came off stage, I was like, okay, I go sit in the corner, drink my beer, shut up for them. Shut up till they start to speak.
Wow.
They looked really, really, really like they wanted to kill you.
Yeah. And that was always the coolest thing. Like those guys look like a gang, like, and especially like those old bootlegs of like 1995 through like 1999. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that band was like just cutting people's heads off. And a really cool story actually was I was flying up to see Scott in Oregon one time, and I was eating dinner with Scott Carlson that night, and I said, I'm going to go see Scott from Neurosis tomorrow. I fly out, and he's like, oh man, back in like 1996 or 97, like me and Lee Dorrian went to, we were somewhere, and Neurosis were playing, and we went to watch them. It might have been on this tour actually.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott didn't really know anything about Neurosis at all, and he said that like it was such a brutal, like just audio and visual assault that like both him and like Lee walked out of there, and they were just kind of like silent with each other for the next hour, just trying to process like the angriest, most depressing thing that's ever like hit them.
Yeah.
So just to have all these like stories like be confirmed or like the same sort of energy. That's absolutely amazing. So,
and they were the coolest of people, though.
Yeah,
we got along really well, and they were really, really, really cool people, and really nice to get to know them.
And it's such a cool like energy on that lineup. It's like you have you guys who are like going more towards like a death and roll sound. Not to say that you couldn't rip out the old heavy Entombed songs, but then you had like complete like black death sound. So it would have been just like a really cool, interesting evening to have gone out to. And I hate going out to see like 5 of the same band. You know what I mean? Like all death metal, all punk, all whatever. It's like mix it up, man. Give me the white, give me the black.
Yeah. It works most of the times, I think.
Yeah.
You know.
I guess after Nick left too, like you started writing a bunch of like lyrics for Entombed, or were you always contributing some lyrics?
No, not before. I guess I wrote the ones I kind of did the music for.
Right. Oh, okay. So you got to contribute some music too.
Yeah.
Amazing. Were you in Grave? Were you a songwriter in Grave too?
Yeah.
Awesome.
We all were. So.
Oh, okay. So everyone was sort of like contributing in that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. So it gets to
even the drummer Jens, he couldn't play guitar, but he could come to the rehearsal room with I have a riff, and he would okay, play that. Okay.
That's a Steven Tyler approach. He hears it in his head, then he has to go.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And so one of you guys has to sit there and just be like, oh.
Yeah. No, not like that. It has to be like more something else.
And so it comes to the mid 2000s, and you decide to leave Entombed.
Mm-hmm.
Was there anything going on that you were like, I don't want to do this anymore?
Pretty much the same thing as I experienced with Grave, you know. I was
tired of touring.
Fed up. Yeah, I was tired of it. You know, It wasn't fun anymore, and it was more kind of a headache going out than actually feeling happy about it.
Yeah. So you picked up like a more regular life, and it must probably for like the first time in a long time, like not being on tour. So probably the amount of places that you've traveled to in your life has been like absolutely incredible with those guys.
Yeah. It took me a while to still I can't figure it out sometimes, but it took me a while to realize that we actually got to do so much stuff by playing death metal.
Yeah.
To experience. I mean, I know some people say, think that we earned a lot of money and whatever, but no, we didn't. We never got to see any money from it. But hey, I got to travel. To all kinds of places just by playing death metal, which is.
I think that's a reward in and of itself.
It is a reward in itself. It's more rewarding to me than money,
Absolutely.
I probably spend the money on all the beers that we got for free, or guitars or whatever. But,
Yeah.
If it was just pure money instead of traveling through all the years, I would choose traveling over again.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, we played in Australia 2 times, I think.
Right. What years?
First time it was 98, I think.
Uh-huh.
And we toured with Damaged, if I'm not mistaken. But
I remember that
was
band.
really fun, you know, because we never really been to Australia before. You know, that was amazing. And second time too. And then we played South Africa, which was also crazy.
Amazing.
You know, yeah. And you know, early days, even early with Grave, we went to Mexico City for a week to play one show, which was that must have been You'll Never See or something like that. Yeah, You'll Never See tour. That was amazing too.
That's, man, like that's something that as a kid you just dream of. It's like, imagine if doing this like made people want to listen to you across the world.
Yeah.
You know, it's like so.
You could never imagine when we started.
No, like especially you guys came from like the hardest place to get out from, like being on a small island 3 hours away. It's like the fact that you got to go from there to everywhere is just amazing in and of itself. So
it is.
That is so awesome. So you end up leaving Entombed, and then what is it like to get a phone call and say you know, from like Nick or like Robert, and say like, hey, we're doing this like autopsy death possessed sounding thing. Do you want to come sing on a handful of tracks? Like, how did that even happen?
I can't really remember either who called me, but I think they wanted to have a. So I got to explain. I want you to come down to the studio. We want someone to sing more like Chuck from Death, like real old school. We wanted, you know, it not be the usual kind of just low grave vocals, but
yeah,
I know you can do it. I really want you to do it. And I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. I can. It's always fun. And then with Scott Carlson too.
Yeah.
You know, in the band, which is really cool too. You know, I got to meet him finally.
Yeah.
After so many years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really didn't think about it that much. It was more like you know, helping them out with a few songs vocally.
Yeah. Because you're entirely right. It was a different vocal style ish. You know, you'll always sound like you, but like you were singing a little higher and a little clearer than the super low stuff in Grave. But I mean, that song, the way the chorus goes on A Morbid Mind was just one of the best things that I'd ever heard in my life at that point. I was like, that is the vocal sound, and the way that you went up in the choruses and everything, I was just like, fuck, this is so cool. I literally remember getting the vinyl in the mail, and it was a picture disc, and I hadn't heard the record yet, and I'd resisted hearing the MP3s and resisted, like, someone already had the CD copy, and I was like, nope, I'm putting that on. Once it got to that song, I was like, fuck, this is insane. And that's when you really went into that pantheon of like favorite death metal vocalists of all time. So yeah, I love everything that you did on that record.
It is fun to work with Nicky, because Nicky knows exactly what he wants it to sound like. It's already in his head.
Yeah.
You know, so it's easy to work with him too, because he can really explain how he wants it.
Yeah. Do you remember?
And Robert, I didn't really know Robert that much before that.
Yeah.
But he's really cool, and afterwards he explained a lot. You know, like he was a big Grave fan, and
yeah.
in the early days.
Robert is one of my favorite people on the planet. Like, such a nice dude.
He's a very nice guy.
Very, very nice guy. Do you remember anything from that session? Because like I remember like seeing that everything was like, I don't know if this is accurate, but like I remember like they were putting out photos of when they were recording or the recording sessions of that, and everything was like, it looked like it was being recorded to tape.
I think so, yeah.
Wow, yeah, that must have been like one of the last times.
Yeah, I think that was the reason. They wanted to record it on tape too, and they kind of found. I don't know. I'm not sure if they knew this guy before, but probably, yeah. Right. But they really want. Yeah, I remember that it was recorded on tape.
Yeah. Because I mean, the sound of it is just amazing. So, to get one last sort of like Nikkei album on tape was just amazing. So. I really hope. I'm always screaming at Scott and Robert about it.
Yeah.
There's a whole album there with no vocals on it, and I'm like, hey, Jörgen's at home. Scott, you got nothing to do through this virus. Robert, take a couple days off the studio. It's like,
yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
No problem.
Nick, Scott, Robert, if you're watching this, fucking get it together. 10 years. Well, actually, 11 years now we've been waiting for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It got,
damn it.
The
time flies, huh?
Yeah, the instruments got finished in 2009, and it's been waiting for vocals since 2009. So, god damn it. But yeah, that's cool. I mean, you were in like a bunch of.
They're pushing for the 60s, right? When Scott turned 60 or something.
That's what I said to him. I said, "Man, you do not want to be doing this when you're like 60 or like 65 or something like that. Like it's just you're gonna have a heart attack trying to do it." I said, "Just do it, man." So, Scott. Please just do it. God damn it. You were in like a whole bunch of like just more local and like low key bands after you left. But I mean, the two bands that I really want to focus on to take this out, because we've been doing this for like 2 hours now. I don't want to steal all your day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Is Domedagen, like that band. I think you released Peace as the first song, and I clicked it and I was thinking like, oh, is it going to be more like blast beats and like just really brutal death metal? And so I clicked it, and just like whatever the hell you guys were doing, just fucking incredible. And I was like, the spirit of like 1991 fucking death metal is like, Swedish death metal is in the riffs and the voice of this song. Like, if whoever's watching, if you have not listened to the Domedagen stuff, it's on Spotify now, it's on YouTube, it's on all the streaming platforms, it's Apple Music. You can get it on Bandcamp, and you can download the MP3s and all that sort of stuff. So please go out and do that, because it's like seven or 8 songs, and it's like it feels good you being back on vocals for music like that.
The thing is that we started. It's me and Kenta again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Me. Ever since I left Grave, I've been playing with Kenta since '95. Mm-hmm. We've been playing together in different bands, but his main band is the Project 8.
Yeah.
We've done 13 albums with the Project 8 now.
Jesus.
We just released the 13th one. He's the guy I played with the longest.
Yeah.
In my career, yeah. He's always by my side, and we always, have a good time, and still, maybe we never toured, so it never had to quit our bands. But anyway, we did the Project 8, and as usual, maybe every 2 years or so.
Yep.
Is done with an album. Yeah. But I also had the honors to play with Candlemass a few times.
You did?
Over the years. Yes.
You definitely did.
I played with a guitar with them when Mappe couldn't play, and then when Leif was ill, I had the honors to play bass with them. And at one time in Stockholm, they had this gig, and Mats Levin was on vocals then. And he called me and he said, "You think you can come down to the show tonight and do vocals for one of the songs?" I said, "You want me to sing with Candlemass? I can't sing like that." "No, but you can just, do whatever you do." "What do you mean? I'm going to go down there and sing like I do?" "Yeah, because I don't know the lyrics, and it was supposed to be Papa Emeritus from Ghost,
right,
doing that song. It was I can't remember the name of it. It's one of those early Nemesis songs that got into one of the albums. I can't remember which one of it.
Right.
Anyway, he's like, "I'm panicking here. Can you come down and help me? Because I can't do it." "Okay. Yeah, okay. It's just, when is it?" "It's tonight,
Yeah. Oh my God.
"Okay, I got a few hours to rehearse. I'll do it." So I went home from work. We already had invited a few friends over for a few beers before the show. So I was listening to the song and had a few beers and went down there and did the song live, and with death metal vocals.
Yeah.
Kind of, the way I sing. And I told them, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna try to sing.
Hell no.
They're like, that would be great. It would be fine. It would be awesome. And they're all happy about it, They're so relaxed, those guys. It's amazing.
Yeah.
They're always like, yeah. It will work out. It will be fine. Don't worry. So I did it anyway, and it turned out good anyway. And then a friend of mine said, maybe we should start a project like that, do like doomy stuff, but with your vocals on it. We started playing around with the idea, but our time schedule never really didn't get together so much as we should, so it really never happened. Then after a while, I couldn't do some show with Candlemass, and they asked Kenta to do the guitars for Candlemass.
Wow.
Or bass. It was bass, I think. So he went out and did some shows with Candlemass too. And both me and Kenta was in the early lineup of before we did Crux.
Right.
We did 3 albums with the doom band Crux.
Yep.
With Leif Edling on bass from Candlemass. That was mainly his band, his songs. I did some songs on it too, and Kenta did some. We did some early stuff before Crux called Devil's Son. So me and Kenta has always liked, been big Candlemass fans.
Yeah.
So leading up to Domedagen was actually based on that gig. That one time I got to sing with them, and my friend Stefan said, maybe we should do something like that, but it never happened. So I talked to Kenta, maybe we should do, some doom stuff like Candlemass, but I'm singing on it. Great idea. Let's do it. Okay, oh yeah, I got a few riffs over, from Crux stuff lying around. I can send it over to you if you want. Do it. And Kenta is the most creative person I know. So I give him a bunch of riffs, and he's come back with a whole new song with only his riffs. He didn't use any of my stuff.
That's amazing.
It is the first song, and it was Peace.
Yeah.
I was like, it's great. Sounds great. Maybe we just changed this and that. Yeah. We changed it and we recorded it. And then he got home because he was home anyway. Can't remember. But he eventually wrote those songs in like maybe a week.
Wow.
He just, I got another one. I have a new one. I have this. I have that. And then all of a sudden he did like 7 songs, and then it took a while to get them out, but he was finished in about a week.
Yeah. I mean, it was just great. Like, I think it was somewhere around like 2 months of like every week a new song would come out, and I was just like, what is going on right now? This every song was just as good as the last, and Peace was like a mind-blowing revelation. And so, and that's, I mean, I think it's like digital like drum machine, but because they're considered demos, I think. But like, are you guys ever planning to actually like do anything like a full length or like a professional recording with like a full band or anything like that?
No, we got asked to play a show or two, and we thought about it, and then it didn't happen. I can't remember why.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
if I also had the honors to play with a band called Kong. I don't know if you heard them.
Yeah. Is that Kong with that H at the end?
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. I played a few live shows with them too, and that drummer is amazing doom drummer, and we wanted him to play with Domedagen on live shows. In that case, so that's the closest we ever got to a band. The 3 of us.
Right. Amazing. So it's probably going to stay those 7 songs forevermore, or is there a chance?
No, we talked about it. Maybe do a few more now. That's the 13th album of the Project Hate just been released. So
right.
So we talked about it. Actually, do a few more Domedagen songs now in between, just to make him do something else. Because he's an amazing songwriter. He never stops.
Yeah.
He can't. It's like Phil from Malevolent always said. He always got the faster drummer. Dude, he's the fastest. He just can't stop. That's the same thing with Kenta. He just can't stop. He just writes stuff all the time.
Well, that's amazing. I really hope like sometime soon we just see some more songs coming out, because everything you guys did, it was just so, it felt so good. And I remember the first time like I heard, it was when I first heard Peace. You did Peace, and I forget what the second song name was, but when Peace came out, I was like, alright, I'm keeping this to myself, because I won't tell anyone about this, because I think I'm gonna try get this band like signed to like a record label or something like that. And I want to have a chance to like get them signed to a record label, and no one else find them just yet. And then I think I talked to you about it, and you were like, I don't know, we're just doing this for fun. I was like, God damn it. And then I went and told like a bunch of people about it, and like I sent them the links, and I was like, hey, check this band out. What do you think? They're just a bunch of young kids. And they were like, holy shit, these guys play death metal like it's like 1989 in Sweden. And I was just like, yeah, it's
Who
actually...
did you send that to?
I sent that to Todd from Nails, Eric from Black Breath, I I think I may have sent it to someone at Relapse.
Okay.
I definitely sent it to John from Baroness, and a couple of other people, and I might have sent it to Scott Kelly actually from Neurosis, and but yeah, like all these like just everyone was like, Jesus Christ, like finally some old death metal that isn't like all stupid and like, you know, blood and guts all over it and everything like that. It's like, it's, you know, it's like punk lyrics. And I was like, yeah, man, this shit fucking rocks. And so yeah, yeah, you blew everyone's mind with that. So we're really hoping that more comes from that. And yeah, definitely hoping.
Our main influences was Candlemass and Bolt Thrower. That's maybe that's why it's the punk lyrics in it too.
Yeah. That's so awesome. But more interestingly, like just in the last month or two, Ola messaged me and said, "Hey, check out my new band. Guess who's on bass?" I was like, "Who?" It's like Jörgen. It's like, what? What? How the fuck did you manage to get him to do that? And but yeah, Cardinal Maniac sounds fucking great. Like that's just like straight, just crazy, like just fun rocking metal punk.
Yeah,
everything is in there essentially, and like I've been sending that around to people too, and just going like, man, this is just a demo again, and they've already beaten like everyone else at playing great music. So, is there any plans for that?
No, yeah, well, we're not sure really. We have one show coming up in the fall, but with all these lockdowns and everything, I'm not sure if it's going to be if it's going to turn out or not. But it's here in Sweden, in Stockholm.
Right.
On a festival with shitloads of bands, you know, that you will like.
Yeah.
Do you probably get your ass over here then?
Yeah.
It's in September, I think.
We'll see if I mean, like, everything's shut.
Yeah, exactly. We're not even sure if they're going to pull it off. But if they do, it's going to be a pretty amazing lineup.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only show we have confirmed so far. We're still writing songs, and it was Olle and Jonte, the other guitar player, who started the band, and you know, the love for thrash metal, speed metal.
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, okay, this has got good spirit in it, and it doesn't sound tired. It doesn't sound boring. It just sounds really, really good. So
yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I put it on, I was like, great, because that's perfect two guitar players in there too. Like, holy shit, those two guys are amazing guitar players.
Yeah.
Well, that's really cool. Good. That's really, really cool. Yeah, I hope something really awesome comes from that. And for people listening, that's Cardinal Maniac. So search it up on Bandcamp. There's a like 6 or 7 song demo up on there, so it's really, really good. So
I think eventually it will. I think it's on YouTube too, if it's easier. But eventually it will be out on the other platforms too.
Sweet.
Because we got in contact with the Blood Blast, whatever they called it, right?
Sweet.
So they're gonna really try to push it out there.
Sweet. Awesome. I've got before the 2 fun last questions. If you have the Grave guitar, and if I'm thinking right, did you play a Flying V somewhere through that time? Do you have that guitar?
You know this video I sent you from '91 there?
Yes.
From was it from Holland?
I think so.
Yeah. I still have that guitar. It's a Suzuki guitar.
It's a what?
Suzuki Flying V.
Wow. Okay.
The best guitar I ever had.
Really?
The best guitar someone ever had. There it is.
Oh man, look at that thing.
Suzuki.
Wow, Suzuki. And it must have been Japanese made then, I guess.
Yeah.
And look at that
It's
thing.
been changed. Obviously, it was changed already when I got it.
Yeah,
I bought this from our old bass player, Jonas.
Yep.
He had it before me. And it used to be another, what do you call this, tremolo?
Yeah, like a Floyd Rose or like Kayla.
Kayla,
yeah. Like Jeff Hanneman style.
And now we switched back to one of these. And
yeah.
It's an EMG pickup on it.
Yeah. That's so
But it's
awesome.
really... Yeah, it's a really good guitar.
Yeah.
Lots of riffs in this one.
Absolutely.
Every time you pick it up, there's just another riff coming out of it. I don't know how it... Some magic in it.
That's absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
But
amazing.
This one I had on the... Pretty much from the Into the Grave till I started playing bass on You Never See.
That's amazing.
But I also used it in Crux.
Yep.
I used it
that's so amazing.
pretty much in everything I played.
That is absolutely
That's
incredible.
It.
That's incredible. Well, yeah.
I have another... I like the Suzuki guitars. This is Suzuki Les Paul.
Ah, look at that. That's a Les Paul.
Also, Suzuki.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna have to find one of these guitars. They
really
look
nice.
really cool. Do they all have the bolt-on neck?
Yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Can't really remember. They were really... I mean, I didn't hardly pay anything for them.
Yeah.
But really nice playing.
That's awesome. That's so cool to see that history right there. That you still have those things. That's really, really amazing.
I have another piece of history here. If you remember, I have to move it a little bit. This is a Defender bass amp we used when we played live. Bassman amp.
Oh wow!
Alright.
For Grave?
What is it? For Grave, yeah. I can hang on. I have to switch camera.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I think there's like a flip symbol.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh man, it's a silver face Fender Bassman, and that has
Bassman, 100 watts.
Yeah, those things are amazing. Like they are what Marshall based the JCM, the JMP and the JTM 45 off. So that is an incredible amp right there, and that one has to be from the 70s or something.
Something
it's a
like
nice
this.
silver face.
Mid 70s or something.
Yeah. And I think it was
that's my Fender bass that I used for most part of Entombed.
Yes. And so that was in Entombed, that bass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought it in, I think, 97.
Wow.
It's from 78.
Yep.
American Precision.
Wow. So yeah.
But this one was imported by a Swedish company back in the 70s called Hagström.
Oh yeah, like the guitars.
You know the guitars?
Yeah.
Hagström guitars.
Yeah.
And you can, I don't know if you can tell, but on the back here it says there's a stamp here. Oh, it says imported by Albin Hagström, Älvdalen.
Amazing.
And that's that small town I was actually born.
Wow.
It's in Dalarna. But anyway, you can also see it says hooked.
Yep.
And extra hooked.
Yep.
And that's Swedish for speaker.
Yep.
Short version for speaker in Swedish. Hooked. It's a speaker. And that's an extra speaker.
Yep.
But that word hooked is also loud. If you translate it from Swedish to English,
and
it's loud and extra loud. And what happened was when we were touring with Entombed, I had that one. Of course, let me switch back to the
Yeah.
No, fuck. There you go. Technology. Sometimes I have a dual showman cabinet for it with two 15-inch speakers in it.
Yep.
Silver Phase 2, big one. And sometimes when I came late to soundcheck or whatever, and Uffe had connected the amplifier, it was always in that extra hooked one, and that one is a bit off because it doesn't really it doesn't work properly.
Yeah.
So I always use the first one.
Yep.
That's just a speaker. And so once I said like, who's connecting this in the wrong outlet all the time? And Uffe said, I connected it. Why do you always use the extra one? Oh, it says extra loud. Of course, it has to be in the extra loud.
That is probably
obviously. I was like, yeah, naturally, but it doesn't. This one doesn't work. But that's a good one.
That's Swedish Spinal Tap right there.
Exactly.
That's so cool. Just to hear these things, like it feels like learning something new about Slayer. Extra loud.
Extra loud. It's an extra speaker. Extra loud speaker.
Yeah.
But it was. Yeah. I had it. I bought it here in Stockholm when we moved here in '90, whatever it was.
That's awesome.
That's Basement amp.
Yeah. And you used it with both guitar and bass.
Yes. Yeah, I used it for grave guitars.
Yep.
With a DS1.
Yep. Amazing. I mean, I'm gonna go I have a DS1 somewhere, and I'm gonna have to go like dig it back out and see if I can make some of these sounds.
But I remember when we first US tour with it. Me and Ola came with one bassman each head that we brought from, and then we had a DS1.
Yep.
That's it, and a tuner.
Wow.
If we I can't really remember if we had a tuner or not, but if we did, we had a tuner and a DS1. That's it, and we plugged it in, and it sounded fine. And everywhere we came, there was support bands coming up with supposed to play death metal, and they had these major racks with shitloads of effects and Paul Reed Smith guitars and whatever it was. It was just we were like, wow, these guys spent a fortune on their stuff, and we come here with a DS1 and a Suzuki guitar and just blows everything.
Yeah, well that's what I've always said. I've always said like all the flashy racks and just fucking shit like that. It like takes away from. All you want is like clean signal all the way, just so hits the pedal and the pedal just makes everything, and you don't need 50 rack things, and you don't need a Paul Reed Smith, and you don't need a wireless system, and you don't need drive pedal, distortion pedal, boost pedal all turned on to get the sound. It's literally like, if you don't know how to get it with one pedal, you're too bad. don't
just play loud. It will be fine.
Exactly. So that's really cool. I got two more questions, two more fun ones to take us out. I've been doing some fun questions lately to take it out, but I know that both you and I we really love the band Neurosis. So I wanted to know what your favorite 3 Neurosis records were. And if you can explain anything about those records that you particularly like.
Well, I have to go back to that era when I first discovered them and on that tour, because that's the best period for me. And it was probably they played most of the stuff from Enemy on that tour. They played most stuff from Through Silver and Blood, of course, and then Enemy of the Sun. I think they did one song or two from Souls at Zero too, but so my three favorite ones are Enemy of the Sun, Through Silver and Blood, and the one after that, which Times of Grace.
Times of Grace. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Wow. Yeah. I mean,
those are my three favorite ones, but I really enjoy a lot of it that came after that too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
they're all really cool. They're all different from each other, but those three kind of the most brutal.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah, because there was a different energy through those three, and that's a great lineup right there. And what are your three favorite records that people probably should own too?
That probably people already own.
Well, no, that they should own.
They should.
If they don't have it.
If they don't own it, it's something wrong with it. No, that's always a hard question because I've kind of, I have so many favorite records, but it's hard to say. But I would to a desert island, I would pick out Ride the Lightning.
Yes.
Which is my favorite Metallica record because that's the first one I really got into, and maybe the one that made me want to start playing guitar and
me too.
got me into thrash metal.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
and also Power Age with AC/DC.
Yeah, great record.
I think it's the best. I don't know how many times I've listened to it. Probably million, trillion times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Third record? I don't know. Let's say Trouble. The Skull.
The Skull.
The Skull.
Second record.
Yeah.
Perfect three, man.
To bring some doom to it.
Bring some doom. Slow things down a little. Well, AC/DC's more mid-paced, but Trouble brings some doom. For sure.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's perfect. Well, man, 2.5 hours of talking awesome music and everything, so thank you.
Wow, and I haven't got to show you any of my stuff that I brought out too.
Man, you're more than welcome to do the slideshow now, and I'll edit it in for sure.
I did find a picture from Ola when we were recording. I'm not sure if this is Into the Grave or You'll Never See. I think it's from Into the Grave recording. Let me see.
Oh.
He's playing a BC Rich guitar.
If you pull it back a little bit more. Yeah, and up a little. Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
He's playing a BC Rich guitar, and that's the Sunlight Studio, how it was the old one.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
And here's, I think this must be You'll Never See album, and it's playing a Charvel guitar. If you can see it.
Yeah. A little.
And that's with Thomas.
Yeah. Look how young he was back then.
I know. No beard.
No beard. No communist beard.
He has his favorite cigarette in his mouth. I'll give him that.
That's amazing.
Did find some other stuff. Let me see. Some old flyers and shit.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, here's some real old pictures. This must be before This is Jonas. That's when he kind of started with us, I think.
Wow.
You see that V in the V guitar in the back?
Yeah. That's the one.
That's the one.
Look at that. That is incredible.
It was his.
And that's an Ibanez bass, I think.
Yeah, or an Aria maybe.
Aria Pro 2?
Yeah, could be.
That
and
might be
that's
the
his Fender amp
bass.
next to it. He had a dual showman, or what's it called?
The head?
Yeah.
Yeah. That would have been
I think it was
amazing.
dual showman and a 4x12 guitar.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a Cliff Burton bass right there.
Huh?
That's a Cliff Burton bass.
Yeah. I don't know where it is. I can't really see where the background, the surroundings of this place. I have no idea, but it's an old picture with on me and a guitar, Napalm Death shirt.
That's amazing. Look at that. That's a Fito shirt, I think.
A what?
Oh no, wait. Or is that the Life shirt? I don't know. But it looks awesome.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah.
But there's some.
And look, you had hair at the time.
Well, barely. There's some. We had a grindcore band too called Grinding Death. Here's the original cover from it. Just found it actually.
When did that come out? Was that like around the same time as Corpse?
Halloween. Doesn't really say. No, it's later than. 88.
Right.
Halloween 88.
That's amazing.
There's some old flyers
that
we had.
Has that
flyers that we sent out with for Anatomia demo.
Yep. Wow. That's
$5. That's it.
Is that Grinding Death demo anywhere? Has that ever been released? Like, did anyone's ever put it on like YouTube or anything?
Not that I know of.
Wow.
I think we was drunk. Halloween, had nothing to do, and recorded it.
Do you remember what it sounds like? Is it good?
No. Probably not. Here's an old from Norrköping. I don't know if this was correct. I don't know if we have it. Maybe. Show. Grave, Dismember, Unleashed, and Carbonized.
Oh my god, that is fucking incredible. Holy shit.
But I'm not sure if we all played. I can't really remember. You see, like at the bottom it says arranged by Mogge and Power Hour.
Yep.
Power Hour was a radio station that turns into Close Up magazine, if you know that magazine.
Yeah.
That's the same guy. And Mogge, it's Mogge from Marduk.
What? Really?
Yeah, Morgan from Marduk arranged that show.
That's amazing. Holy shit.
I don't know if you ever knew about Putrefaction. That was another side demo we did. Side band we had.
Like, I've seen that somewhere on like a blog years ago, but is that out anywhere to hear?
Probably somewhere. You could probably find it somewhere. I think it's actually in that box tape, so it might be on the necropsy thing.
Right, okay. I don't remember being on that.
Because I think maybe one or two songs were recorded with Grave later on the albums.
Right, okay. Sweet.
Devouring Flesh?
Yep.
Isn't that the one you posted not too far ago? With that breakdown?
Yes, yeah, it was. It was, actually, yeah.
That was actually a Putrefaction song before it was a Grave song.
Wow. Yeah, that breakdown was fucking awesome. But yeah, thank you so much for taking, nearly 3 hours of your time to like show me this stuff, and like, I'm super stoked and very grateful that you spent the time to do it, because Yeah, you know, I'd be guessing, since there's so little grave interviews, and like you've never been on podcasts that I've seen or anything like that, so I really appreciate that you took the time out to do it.
Really, it's because I don't remember much. I don't do many interviews because it's most of the time it's just bullshit. You know, it's been so long time ago, and just as I said to you first time, I don't know. We just did it, you know.
Yeah. But I'm glad you spent I think we've been talking about it for like a few weeks now, but I'm glad that you dug some stuff out, thought about things and everything, because it means the world to actually have this happen, and now a record of it, and it being out on YouTube. Who knows what happens? Maybe like some kids, who are like 13, 14. They hear a Cannibal Corpse song, they start seeing this name like Grave and stuff like that, and then they find this channel filled with like all the Swedish stuff, and they're like, holy shit, look at all the stuff that we've never heard before. And then new kids get to enjoy this music, because I don't want it to ever die. I think what Tampa, what Sweden, what Chris Reifert did, what Chuck did was just so magic, and then it changed. And it went away. So I really appreciate all knowing so much about this stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah, well, it was a pleasure to talk a bit about it.
Yeah.
I'm not an encyclopedia like Orvar.
No, but, he's a special person like that.
he knows about just about everything.
Yeah.
So
well, you know how I sent you the questions.
It's always good to be with him,
Yeah. You know how I sent you the questions that I was going to ask? He sent me all the questions to ask. And I read the list and I was like, well, his questions are better than mine. So it was like, and ask me about this, and let's talk about this, and then let's talk about how Bathory influenced everyone. And I was just like, oh my god, fucking Jesus Christ, this guy's insane. And it was so cool. So cool to spend.
That's a shame. I never got to meet him, the Quartron. Really?
Yeah, I don't think anyone really did. It just seemed like
he actually was well respected, and he was a soccer fan in one of the Stockholm teams, AIK, and he was always at the games, and everybody saw him there, but nobody really went up to him to talk about Bathory.
Right.
Because he was so respected, everybody just knew it was him, but didn't really want to bother him.
It's so weird. It seems like he just existed on this other plane of existence. Like, he didn't care to have metal friends or be part of a scene or whatever. He just did what he did, and that was it. And which is just mind blowing to me. That it sort of ended up like that. So crazy.
Yeah, I don't. As I said, I never know. I don't know him, so I can't really say. Yeah. It's just a mystery. Yeah. When I moved here, I moved to Stockholm. I moved in with my uncle because he had a house on a racetrack here in Stockholm, horse racing. He was working there, and they had a gate, so I had to walk by a security guard every time I came home. And he saw me carrying a guitar case all the time because we were, going to rehearsals and stuff. Yeah. So one day he asked, he started talking. Oh, you play guitar? I play death metal and blah blah blah. And one day he came with a cassette. He said, "Oh, here, this is a new band from New York. It's like a advanced tape of an album that they did." Okay. They're called Type O Negative. Listen to it. I was like, okay, thanks. And I didn't know what it was. I had no idea. But I don't know. Did you? I didn't know you listened to that. No, but my neighbor is. He's in a band too. I can't remember, Battery or something. I was like, what? This tape came from your neighbor and he's in Battery. Yeah. Okay. All right. Tell him thanks. All right. So I don't know how it happened, but he must have said, "Oh, I see this guy all the time. He played metal. Maybe you have a tape for him or something." And he shipped me the advanced tape of Type O Negative's first album.
That's pretty amazing. Like just the fact that
That's
like
amazing.
that connection sort of happened. Like, all right, yeah. Just give. It's like, oh, Battery or something.
Yeah, he didn't have a clue. He didn't know. That's my neighbor.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
he seems to be into metal as well.
That's so amazing. That's so amazing. I'm so glad you remembered that, just so we could put it on the end here. So, but yeah. So yeah, again, man, thank you, and I'll let you go. And I hope that we can do another one of these where we have like, I'm gonna figure out how to do it so that there's like a whole panel of people like Scott and like gonna get Robert on.
Oh,
like just
man.
Just like, hey, everyone, now let's talk about this, or like, what do you think about that, or whatever, and see if whatever, and everyone's into the idea. So.
Oh yeah, that sounds good fun.
Yeah.
I remember you were supposed to talk to Lee too, right? Lee Dorrian?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was all. I remember first time I heard Cathedral. I went into a record shop here in Stockholm, and they had a Cathedral demo on this display there. And that day I bought, in the record shop, I bought Trouble's first album.
Yeah.
On the white vinyl, which I've been looking for a while.
I still have
on the white vinyl with a lyric sheet.
Yeah.
With a lyric sheet and everything. Yeah. And I bought, I can't remember, something else. And then I went to pay them, and I saw the Cathedral demo. It says features Lee from Napalm Death or something. Give me the demo too. So I bought it. And I went home and listened to that demo, and I was like, wow, this is so doomy.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's so slow it doesn't move. You know, it's just wow, I love it. I started spreading it to all my tape trading friends. You know, it's like blah blah blah, spreading it out everywhere. Listen to this. This is amazing. And all of a sudden, I had a package from Lee with a T-shirt.
No way.
And a letter. It says, "Oh, thank you so much for spreading our demo to your tape trading friends. A lot of people have come back to me and said that they gave him that you traded it, and thank you so much. And here's a shirt for and everything." I was like, "Wow, Lee Dorrian sent me a T-shirt. I didn't ask for it. He just sent it out." And that's the shirt I wear on the Into the Grave record.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, Cathedral shirt.
Yeah. That's a fucking amazing story. I'm gonna cut this out and send it to Lee.
And I was so happy about it, and you know, that Lee Dorrian would actually do such a thing. You know, former singer of Napalm Death and everything.
Yeah, that's an incredible story.
And later on, he was already good friends with Entombed, of course, and when I joined Entombed, I got to meet him more and more frequently when he came out on shows. And he actually, I think it was in Glasgow, he joined us on the bus somewhere in England, and I think it was in Glasgow, and he came up and did a Black Sabbath cover with us, Under the Sun.
No way. That's amazing.
That was good fun.
That's
He's the best. He's the best. He's the really, I really love him.
I hope you guys still keep in contact every now and then.
Yeah, not that often, but you know, every now and then we say hi on Facebook.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, man. Well, we'll leave it there, and we'll see you on camera another time, and I'll see you in chat forevermore.
Yeah.
And see you in Sweden real soon. As soon as the gates open, man, I'm there. No wasting time anymore.
We still have to do that recording.
Oh my god, dude! I've got like 2 songs like set aside, ready to like throw into that mix, and you know, see if you guys actually want to record them. So.
Oh yes, let's do it. Whenever you come here.
Yeah. Sweet. Okay. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. Kick the boxing bags. Punch them as hard as you can.
I will.
And enjoy, man. Take it easy. Thanks again, man.
Take it easy.
Peace.
Right. Bye.